We are heading into a new golden age where the world lives in harmony and at one with nature and technology. Discover the fifth dimensional golden future of joy and delight with best-selling author Diana Cooper, where everyone can express themselves creatively and be accepted for exactly who they are. A personal guide will welcome you with warmth and introduce you to this new, enlightened way of living, where people are relaxed, happy, and satisfied, and all live in synchronicity, caring for the common good. This meditation will imbue you with hopeful and healing energy for the future of humankind and our precious planet. If you enjoy this guided meditation, we think you'll love Diana's brand new Oracle deck, the Golden Future Oracle. Get inspiration to focus on the harmonious future that awaits us all with this beautiful 44-card Oracle deck by visiting hayhouse.com/golden.
Visualization to experience life in the golden future. Created and read by Diana Cooper. Find a place where you can be quiet and undisturbed, and allow yourself to let go and relax. Know that your guardian angel is beside you, looking after you. And be aware that each of your chakras is now filled with golden light to match the vibration of the future. In your fifth dimensional vibration, feel peace and hope as you walk through great golden archway to 2032 and beyond. Now you look round and see that there are trees everywhere. They are looking radiant with golden auras. You find yourself wandering through a local market. Here, all the goods are locally made or locally grown. They radiate good vibes. Everything is clean. All foods are wrapped in ecological, reusable, harmless, biodegradable materials. So you notice that there's no need for old age plastics. People everywhere are happily exchanging goods. There is no money changing hands. There is a feeling of trust, of plenty, and so much laughter and a feeling of contentment. All around you, people are chatting, relaxed, happy. You take a deep breath and feel your pace slow down, as if you are on a restful holiday. Feel that the earth below your feet is pure. The air you breathe is light and clean. You take another deep breath and smell the air scented with perfumed flowers, and you find yourself relaxing even more. Most people around you are dressed in easy-to-wear, light and comfortable, self-cleaning, one-piece garments. And then you notice two girls dressed in brightly coloured, incredibly fancy long dresses. And you realize that they were restricted in the past and are now expressing themselves creatively. Everyone accepts this. A teenager smiles as he walks by, and you can see all levels of his aura. You see where old frustrations have been cleared and dissolved, so he is open to the joy of life. And now a tall young man comes up to you. He tells you that he is your guide. He says he has come back to you from the future. He stands in front of you and opens his heart, and you enjoy a warm, welcoming energy exchange. His aura is clear and golden, and you immediately feel very excited and very safe and looked after. You see robots cleaning the streets and more robots planting flowers in a big central flower bed. Your guide explains that robots do routine tasks, so everyone has lots of leisure. And there are no financial worries because there is no money. Everyone works together to support each other. He adds, everyone in the golden era has the consciousness to relax and enjoy this. And life will become even more relaxed, happy, and satisfying. You smile with the peace of it all. You are surprised to watch a bus full of people float silently past. It looks rather like a hovercraft, and there is no driver. Then you see a small transport being driven by a person. Your guide tells you that it's being conducted by a volunteer because some people want the human contact, but most vehicles are operated remotely. I'd like to travel in a hover vehicle, you think, and instantly a brightly coloured, driverless, circular, hovering transport stops silently beside you. How did that happen, you ask? Your guide laughs. In our higher consciousness, a vehicle or anything we need is available for us at exactly the right moment. No one owns a transport, all are communal, so one is automatically ready when it's needed. It's just a thought away. You get in with your guide, and together you float smoothly along. As you travel, you notice how few vehicles there are, how houses are spaced quite widely apart. There are no cars in drives. The population is much smaller. People everywhere are contented and friendlier. Commuting is a thing of the past, and you drive through a town. Where a supermarket used to be, there is now a field with children playing football. Where there used to be a vast hospital, there is a small local healing centre, and you can hear music floating out of it. Where there was a high street full of cheap foreign imports, there is a local market, and fruit trees are planted round it for all to share. I'd like to see inside a house, you murmur. As if by magic you pass a house with a door wide open and laughter emanating from within. The transport stops instantly, and the family within sees you and beckons to you in a friendly way, inviting you in. Your guide motions you to get out of the hover transport and says he'll come back when you need him. When you have stepped out, the vehicle whirs away. A man, woman, and their children welcome you into their home. Everything is bright and comfortable and rounded, created with soft curves. You notice there's no TV or computer or mobile phones. They invite you to eat a meal, which is simple and light-sustaining. The hostess laughs and says, "A robot prepared this food, but often I choose to cook myself." She radiates a glow of happiness. She touches a crystal in her bracelet and you hear the faintest whirring. She tells you she has changed the temperature in the house. She touches her bracelet again, and this time there's a slight movement of air as all dust and dirt is sucked away and the home is cleansed. Her husband tells you that every house has underground water storage, kept pure with crystals, no chemicals. Everything is powered by eco-power, which is free and harmless to people, animals, and the planet. As you sit round the table, you observe that the children have slightly elongated skulls. The husband reads your mind and tells you that the new children have bigger, crystalline brains. They are like computers, so they no longer need a physical computer. You have enjoyed your visit, but it's time to explore further. Regretfully, you say goodbye to your new friends and go to the front door, wondering what will happen next, knowing everything in this dimension is guided. A child is sitting on the branch of a tree waiting for you. She asks you telepathically if you would like to see her baby brother. You realize that there are no secrets. Everyone knows everything. They know you have arrived to visit the golden future. Here, everyone is totally safe and working for the highest good of everyone else. The child sends you clairvoyantly into your third eye a picture of a 6-week-old baby. It looks very cute. And when you reply that yes, you would like to see her baby brother, the child floats down from her branch and lands softly beside you. She sees your surprised face. "Oh, I can levitate and float, but I usually climb up and down because I enjoy it." "Come on," she says, "come and see my new brother." You walk together through a wildflower meadow to a pure, clear, shallow, bubbling stream that leads to a small blue lake. Here, by a circle of shining and humming crystals, the family has gathered to celebrate the baby. The mother is carrying him very easily in a kind of papoose. As they see you approaching with the little girl, the family all send you a welcoming energy. And once more you immediately feel included. And you both sit amongst them all. And now there is a sense of anticipation as the mother places the baby down in the crystal circle. There is an intake of breath, as suddenly the baby's aura shines out, bright and clear, energized by the crystals. The baby's parents and many others in the circle can read the baby's aura, the gifts and talents that he is bringing into this incarnation. The parents, the entire community, and the education system will nurture and help these gifts and talents to develop. You sense the happiness and devotion of everyone to this collective mission of nurturing this soul. We are going to have a celebration and community welcome now for my baby brother, explains the child. Her mother smiles and adds, "We gather to celebrate everything. The celebration is considered spiritual gratitude. Do join us. Everyone is welcome. And you feel the welcome. There is simple food laid out on floating platforms. No alcohol, because everyone is happy and no one needs mood-altering substances. Everywhere there is a sense of joy and delight simply in being alive and surrounded by love and friendship. Take a moment to tune in and feel this. You become aware of the guardian angels of all the people hovering outside the circle, watching. And you know that everyone can see them too. The little girl sees that you have noticed them and points upwards. And now you see pure white unicorns above, pouring down blessings and holding the frequency high. You breathe deeply and take in the good feeling. Quite aware of your own guardian angel and your own unicorn with you. The little girl touches your arm. Come and see my school now. As you walk beside her, you ask what she is to develop in this life. She says unselfconsciously, "In my last life I loved trees and planted as many as I could. Now I have the ability to talk to trees and bring forward their healing qualities to help people and animals." She runs to a big tree and puts her forehead to its trunk. At once you feel a shaft of energy thump into your chest and know that a healing has taken place. "I asked it to heal some pain you're holding on to from many lives," she says. You breathe into your chest and know that something has been released. The child continues, "I have brought in the gift of heart healing and a connection with the elves. Of course, everyone is aware of the elementals, but I have a special connection with the elves because they look after the trees. I've got lots of other abilities too, but these are the ones I like best. And here's my school." She skips ahead of me into a grove of magnificent trees. In a clearing is another circle of crystals. Most of these are quartz, and they light up as we approach. A person is sitting quietly in the circle. Her aura is radiating gold and many other colors. She looks so happy and contented. "This is my teacher," the child explains. You are immediately surrounded by a warm glow of welcome from the teacher, who telepathically asks how she can help. You ask her, what do the children learn? For instance, do you teach them maths or languages or history? She laughs and explains that mathematical information is downloaded to each child on a need-to-know basis. For this particular child, it's not very important for her pathway. Language is about communication and expression, and now people mostly communicate telepathically, which eradicates the language barrier. So unless you want to be a poet, language is not formally learnt. As for history, the children are shown an objective picture of what really happened. It is downloaded for each child individually. Again, it's not so important, as we live in the now. She tells you, we place a great deal of importance on contentment, confidence, self-worth, social interaction, and qualities that help a child achieve their soul potential. And we practice self-discipline, mind control, healing, and teach spiritual technology. You ask, are lessons always outside? Wherever possible. Now that we can safely control the weather without chemicals, we prefer to teach out in nature. And we can command a transparent, weatherproof dome to protect us if needed. As you're considering this, you notice how the teacher glows and the child glows. There is so much more you'd like to know, but it's time to move on. So you thank the teacher and the little girl and say goodbye. Then you say, "Transport, please," and a hovercraft arrives and floats with you into an established golden city. This one is cradled between a hill and a clear, placid river. Here you see rocket-shaped vehicles floating silently at different heights. Some are huge. You take a deep breath and let it out slowly as you listen to the silence. Feel the peace. Round, cheerfully coloured houses are clustered in groups, each surrounding a central service building. There are fountains and cascades of water everywhere, and children and animals playing in them. The vehicle stops, and you get out and walk towards a group of people who are contentedly sitting together. Some are painting on canvases that seemingly float in the air. One is carving an animal from a piece of wood. Two children are intently creating a model. Dogs approach you, wagging their tails. All greet you with welcoming smiles and an energy that opens your heart. You can see right into the homes, for the windows are huge and there's nothing to hide. Everything is simple and comfortable. One home is built round an ancient oak tree. You watch as a teenager slides gleefully from his bedroom window down to the river. By the river there are canoes, rafts and paddleboards freely available. He jumps into a canoe and joins some friends for a race and then a swim, before he floats back to his room on a cushion of air. You smile to see how energized and happy he is. Now you hear music wafting from a nearby park and follow a wide, winding path towards it. Others are walking in the same direction. Some float easily past you, levitating just above the ground. You find yourself walking through a beautifully laid out park. Here, sports equipment is laid out for anyone to use. A healthy, vigorous man invites you to play a kind of tennis before the concert. He tells you, here's 100. I chose the optional rejuvenation program, he grins. Whether you play tennis or not, you find a racket in your hand and can play. It is fun. When you have finished, you carefully replace the rackets you've used, and you walk with the young old man together past a boating link. Let's call a boat, the man suggests, and calls one with his mind. It floats to you, and you get in and enjoy lazing in it, just relaxing on soft cushions, being rocked by the clear water. You see that the waters are shining and pure, and wonder how this is maintained. The man reads your mind. Water everywhere is clean and pure, kept that way with special frequencies that are passed through crystals. He points to a huge crystal at the lakeside. That's the main receiver, and it passes the right energy onto the other crystals. You can drink the water, he adds. And now it is perfect time to go to the concert, he tells you. You tie up the boat, leaving it as you found it, and then you walk side by side towards the sound of the music. It is an open-air concert. Fair weather is organized for tonight, he explained. Lots of people are sitting on the grass, but let's call chairs, the young old man says. He focuses for a moment, and instantly 2 chairs are beside you. There are well-rehearsed concerts, he tells you, but this is a spontaneous one. Anyone can join in. He points to racks of musical instruments. There is a hush, and he tells you telepathically that today's theme is joy. Before they start, the players attune to each other for the highest good of each other and the audience, to bring listeners into a state of joy. You watch as the players stand still, and you see a light moving from mind to mind and heart to heart, bringing their consciousness to one. The conductor leads them as they start to play in perfect harmony. As you listen, you feel your heart open and expanding. A happiness, a lightness, and sense of wonder within. Time vanishes. And too soon the concert is finished. You carry the chairs and add them to a stack. We could just send them, but it's grounding and a service to do it ourselves physically, explains the man. You ask the man what gives him soul satisfaction. He smiles. Come with me, I'll show you. A larger, rocket-like vehicle is instantly beside you. You zoom above the treetops until you see huge silver-gold tunnels below you. Those are maxi tunnels, he points with pride. Our vegetables grow in there, an abundance to feed everyone. It's my passion to work with them. You land at the entrance to one tunnel. As you go in, you see it's like a cathedral, filled with floor upon floor of vibrant, healthy, enormous, growing vegetables, filled with nutrition. Your guide explains that light, temperature, humidity, nutrition, and all the physical needs are met automatically. Harmonious music is played to the plants, and this stimulates growth. Crystals are programmed to support them. However, he adds, the real success of their supergrowth is the fact that the gardeners like myself work with the elementals. I've always had green fingers, but it was only when I decided to stay on and rejuvenate that my connection with elementals grew. I communicate with them, and they explain what the plants need. The elementals also keep harmful insects away from the vegetables. There is an incredible feeling of peace, happiness, and gratitude in the maxi tunnel, and you sense that the plants feel this and respond to it. As you exit, you notice some hens wandering freely and pecking about. In a field, you see sheep, a few cows and goats. Your guide informs you that many animals have chosen to leave the planet in the past years, but some still want to continue to experience on Earth, and especially to help us. He says that hens offer their eggs, and this is always appreciated. It is never taken for granted. Only animals who are vegetarian or can adapt will remain on Earth, as flesh eating is not part of the new paradigm. Your guide explains that all food is free to everyone. No one ever orders more than they need, for everyone knows there's plenty. An order is placed clairvoyantly or by technology, and the food is automatically delivered by a driverless vehicle. Or someone can come and choose their own. The young, old man now invites you to join him to attend a community meeting. He suggests you walk through the park, as it's good to use your physical body. He grins at you. As he walks with you, he explains that there are no leaders. Everyone is invited to the community meetings. You see ahead a round meeting room. It looks like glass, but your guide explains it's ecologically extruded plant material, designed to let in the perfect amount of sunlight, and it naturally maintains a perfect temperature. As you enter and join the people already in the room sitting in a circle, you feel the familiar welcome and belonging sensation. Your guide explains that everyone is making a decision about where some new houses are to be placed. He says, "We all hold the intention to choose for the highest good. There is no ego." It is the same with decisions for the country and the world. Respected representatives are chosen, and they teleport or travel in flying rockets to meetings. Suddenly, everyone becomes silent. Everyone links heart to heart and mind to mind. You can see a soft golden light connecting everyone as they attune to a decision for the highest good. Someone spells out the choices. In seconds, a person speaks aloud the collective decision. Everyone nods in agreement and opens their eyes. We make decisions quickly and easily because there's no ego, no personal motivation. We connect ourselves as one. Everyone concerned is happy because we know it's for the highest good, your guide tells you. He asks, would you like to see a transport being manifested? You nod. Then let's move to 2050. As expected, a transport appears, and as you glide silently along through the Golden City, you notice that some people are able to levitate smoothly above the ground for short distances. Others are floating on hover discs, and yet others in small, silent helicopters. You stop at a huge circular domed building, surrounded by beautifully laid out gardens with fountains, cascades of flowers, and green lawns. The man explains that this is a special building. Here the members of the community manifest what they need locally. He says that if it is something for the whole village, everyone turns up to support the enterprise, but today it's a small thing. When you walk through the huge door of the dome, you gasp at the elegance and beauty of the perfectly proportioned space. Huge quartz crystals are placed around the area. Soft, relaxing music plays. 3 people sit in the center of the room, round a lump or block of raw material. You are not sure if they're male or female. Your guide whispers that they are particularly trained in advanced mind control. Round them sit members of the community who hold with the trio the vision of what is to be created. One of the 3 in the center describes very precisely the vehicle you intend to create. The music stops. There is intense silence. Everyone closes their eyes and concentrates. You can actually see the thought forms beaming from people's third eyes of the vision being collectively produced. In front of your eyes, the lump of material in the center of the room starts to take on a shape. Slowly and gradually it turns into a small circular transport. A crystal is placed in it, and you watch it float to the side of the hall. You want to say something, but your guide touches your arm and indicates to you to remain silent. He telepathically explains that they are going to demonstrate another form of manifestation, drawing an object from the invisible, unmanifest world to the physical, manifest world. Again, one of the trio explains exactly what they wish to bring forward. Everyone closes their eyes and concentrates. This time, instead of silence, you hear that everyone is humming softly. An awesome thing happens. The elegant but sturdy chair that's been described is appearing out of thin air in the center of the hall. Your guide leads you out and gives you a moment to assimilate what you have experienced. You are amazed how everyone is happy and healthy and youthful, and wonder how they maintain their health. Your guide immediately responds to your thought. We all have our 12 chakras open, and of course the angelic realms, the angels and unicorns especially, help us to keep our frequency high. This helps us to be healthy, but also everyone takes responsibility for themselves. We understand how to use herbs and eat only nutritious food to maintain the right flow of energy. If anyone is unwell, trained healers balance their chakras with sound and light to keep them in balance. Healers also keep people attuned to their divine health blueprint to maintain perfect health. There are no hospitals, for they're simply not needed. Let's go to a local healing center now, and I'll show you some of the wonders of modern medicine. Together you walk down the avenue lined with pink blossom trees in bloom, to a smaller circular building nestling into a hill. 2 dogs and a cat are sitting at the open door, and the place feels welcoming. As you enter, there is a tangible feeling of love and happiness. You are greeted by a healer. She looks at you, then she moves behind you and runs her hands down the back of your body. You may feel a tingle as she brings your chakras into balance now. Then she runs her hands down in front of your body. Again, you may feel a tingle as they're cleansed and purified. As you wait, a boy is brought in by his father. He has broken his arm. He fell from a tree. Accidents still happen, but people can quickly be restored to their divine blueprint. The lad looks white. He is gently placed on a table and given a herbal drink for shock. Then laser lights are used to knit the bones. The child gets off the table looking better. He swings his arm and he's told to rest. Soon after this, a patient is arriving with a spinal fracture. He is paralyzed. Until recently, the collective consciousness believed this was not curable. The patient is carried in by family members, and he too is gently placed on his stomach, where he floats above a special table. First, his chakras are balanced as they've gone off center with shock. Then 3 healers surround him and beam lasers into his back. They focus on his spine with the power of thought and intention until the spinal fracture is repaired. You need a drink after watching the healing, and no sooner have you thought this than a drink manifests in front of you. The container is made of transparent plant material. The drink is delicious and refreshing and totally natural. Your old young guide tells you that it's time he left, and you are sorry to say goodbye. But you exchange golden energy from your hearts, and you wave as he disappears. Almost instantly, your original guide has come back to see you. You greet him in the same way and feel love pouring through you, energizing you, making you feel alive and loved and wanted. He smiles and asks what you'd like to know. You're not quite sure, so he says, disposal of rubbish and plastics was a problem in the old age. Now, scientists all over the world are freely sharing information for the highest good, and awesome things are being accomplished. I'll show you a dematerialization plant, he offers. You find yourself at a round, domed building surrounded in flowers and lawns. You can hear a soft hum emanating from the building, and your guide tells you it's a waste disposal center. You can see transports arriving carrying goods that have been polluting the planet. One is piled with ancient white goods, washing machines, fridges, freezers, televisions. Your guide explains that new cooling methods have been available for many years, so there's no need for refrigeration. Also, there are now ways of producing fresh produce throughout the year, so there is no need for freezers. There are new heating methods, so no cookers are required. Old TVs or washing machines are still lying around, but they are really old age. At last, in 2050, we're able to dematerialize everything we don't need, including the polluting plastics. We can truly clear the oceans and landfill sites at last. You watch as a transport drops loads of rubbish into the building. You hear the hum. You see a flash of white light. When you look inside the building, it is empty. All has totally dematerialized. Your guide smiles as he tells you that the white light was the unicorn energy taking any residue to the sun to be absorbed. He says that at last our planet is being totally purified. You ask about the energy to power everything. We use free forms of eco-power, crystals, earth magnetism, pyramid power, the power of the oceans, lightning, sun, wind, and plant energy, and more, and can capture it into very small, powerful batteries beyond anything you could imagine before our golden age. All is free and plentiful. His voice becomes very serious. All this is possible only because our consciousness is of love and peace. We only want what is for the highest good, and so we are offered wondrous gifts from the universe. Please remember this and mull on it, for this will bring it forward for you and help Earth ascend more quickly. He asks if there's anywhere you want to visit. You say you've always wanted to travel to Australia. What is it like now in 2050? Your transport takes you to an airport. You enter a rocket-shaped, eco-powered vehicle and sit comfortably. You arrive in the blink of an eye, for it flies at speeds beyond comprehension. You float over the centre of Australia. What used to be desert is filled with soft green trees. There has been massive reforestation, and already the climate is gentler. This is possible because humanity can create water from liquid hydrogen and quartz, can also control the weather using sound and crystal technology. Your guide tells you that each country is different and choices of weather are made for the highest good, but in most places it only rains at night. Shall we visit Uluru? Your guide asks. It is now a huge center for spacecraft from around the universe. A silent transport helicopter takes you above the trees until you see the vast red rock of Uluru ahead. You see an eco-fueled space rocket made with new technology and materials. Suddenly, you're aware that it is surrounded by angels. Your guide tells you that humanity is ready to connect physically with the star systems with humility, love, and pure intention. So the spiritual realms are working in harmony with scientists. You watch as everyone at the space station sends up a prayer with open hearts. And then the rocket moves gloriously towards its destination. Your guide tells you that the more amazing the technology becomes, and the more incredible the things people can do, the more we love to be in nature and exercise our physical bodies. We want to reconnect to love of earth, gardening, walking, mountain climbing, and outdoor sports. We love to do them. They're becoming more and more popular. You smile at the wonder and joy of the new golden age. And you know it is time to leave the golden future. So you thank your guide and you wave goodbye as you return to where you started, filled with a sense of peace, joy, love, and tranquility. Most of all, you are ready to bring the energy of the golden future into your life now. So you might like to rub your hands together or stamp your feet to ground yourself and open your eyes and return to the room with a golden smile.